Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm a husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so we don't miss you don't miss any of our reviews. Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 16. What are you doing?
You're looking that way. I'm telling you to look forward.
I'm always looking forward. I wanted to see, but I'm good. The cameras, I know where the camera's at. I'm good.
Did you really just do that?
We're good. We're fine.
Really?
I'm keeping it where it's at. Let's keep it rolling. She give me direction on camera. That's my production. That is my producer.
Bloopers. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna point out. You talking about I'm your producer. I'm not gonna point out what I say every time our intro comes on. I'll see if y'all notice what happens every time our intro comes on. Anyway, Married at First Sight.
Season 16, episode 16, Unbearable Truth.
Trying to front me. I'm playing. Unbearable Truth. Okay. This is the couples retreat.
Yeah.
First day of the couples retreat. And yeah.
It's fun. Who you want to start with? Let's start with best friends.
Oh yeah.
We're best friends. High five.
Give me a high five. Clint and Gina.
Yeah.
So it starts with all of them preparing to go to the retreat, and they go to Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
And
which is a beautiful place, by the way. Been there, stayed there, saw some bears there too. It's the truth. They were real bears. But anyway.
Yeah. So they're like the next to last couple to get to the retreat. They're all just, again, preparing to get there. They're real friendly. The thing with them is this: the whole thing with them at the retreat. They're friendly. They've been staying in an apartment together in different rooms, sleeping in different beds. This will be the first time they're sleeping in the bed together since the honeymoon. And they got a little trepidation.
He was cool. She had a little bit like the snoring, maybe. He was
not even that. Just like, we haven't done this. I don't expect it to be too uncomfortable. The next day, it wasn't that bad after all. Like, what did you expect?
You thought he was gonna be a beast, an animal, and just grab you. This was the night for Clint to try something if you wanted to. If I would just stay on it.
But like I told you, he don't want to try nothing. He ain't gonna try nothing. It's just he ain't interested. In the end, that when decision day comes, just cut to the chase. When decision day comes, they're both gonna say no because they just really cool friends. But anyway, they talk about being excited for the 80s party, how he thinks they're going to see a bear.
Yeah.
Will the bear get into the hot tub? Clint's like, maybe. I said, they arrived second. Jasmine and Eris are already there. They got shots, drinks ready for them.
Flowing.
Like I said, they stay in the one bed. They had been in separate rooms. They prepare for the 80s party. Well, first it's the men's little pageant.
The men's pageant.
And she's helping Clint get ready. Let's do something different with your hair. We're going to pull it back in a man bun for you.
They got a man bun. Everybody likes a man bun. My daughter likes a man bun.
Yeah, but not the one he has.
Not the one.
She like the one Roman Reigns do. Like when he put it, that's a different kind of man bun, okay? But anyway... So that's the thing that they're preparing for, the little 80s, the pageant, and then later the 80s party. But real quick, I'll touch on this. The thing about them sleeping in the same room. The one thing Gina said was she typically comes to his room to chit chat and then she leaves. So the difference with this is we're going to chit chat and nobody's going to leave.
Nobody's going to leave, which we figured that she would be going to his room anyway.
Right.
And he wouldn't be going over there. So she comes to his room and just leaves. So come to his room and just stay for a while. Hopefully when they get back to home, that they don't go separate ways.
They will.
That she will get used to sleeping with him for those 3 nights that they was on this retreat. And that she'll go back and maintain that. At least for the next 2 weeks. You only got like 2 weeks left. Go back and sleep with him for 2 weeks.
I don't see it.
So.
I don't see it. But it was a whole thing with them, with the... He had to turn the lamp off. The lamp was broke. sleeping in the same bed, make them feel more like a married couple, which if you had done it in the first place, that's what would have happened. It probably would have been more beneficial for y'all than where you are now. But anyway, we see them go on a little single car roller coaster thing. He joked about how he's going to moan on the ride. They went and got some little moonshine after the fact.
One thing Gina and Clint can do, they can drink together. If there have not been an episode where Gina and Clint have not had a drink together, I'm not knocking it. That's what they do. That's what friends do. They getting together. That's one thing they have in common. And Clint said, we got a lot of things in common. We're really good friends. We don't have arguments. Everything's peaceful and relaxing. It's just no romantic involvement.
Mm-hmm. The thing with them is they talk about in this episode how they had a lot of ups and downs, but they're pretty much kind of sitting up on top now. How their visit with Dr. Pepper put things in perspective for her. They've been focusing on it day by day. She enjoys his company. He could see for sure why they were matched, and her too. And they're just trying to get past friendship, and they're stuck. He said for him, he's just going to continue to have fun with her. And, are they getting stronger? Are they getting stronger every day than yesterday? That's their whole focus. And, that's really it with them. Again, getting ready for the 80s party. Him with his holy shirt, headband, multicolored leopard print pants. He was like, I'm going to let my eyes do the talking. In other words, it's the 80s. We know how to metal guys. Mascara, eyeliner. That's what the look.
Could have been part of Def Leppard.
Absolutely.
Bon Jovi.
He talked about how these parties are his favorite thing. And at the end of the party, based on everybody's look, they were the undisputed bona fide winners over Nicole and Chris, because really they were the only two couples who really came in there.
Look like 80s.
Really?
Yeah, because my man
Shaq was dressed like the 70s. And Kirsten was just dressed.
Yeah, I don't think she had an outfit on.
I mean, she did, but it just didn't give me 80s.
It didn't give me 80s.
It didn't give me 80s, but that's it. Gina and Clint, not much.
Not much.
It's never much with them because they ain't got nothing going on.
Shaq and Kirsten.
Okay, we can talk about them. So they're getting packed again. Everybody's preparing to go to the couples retreat. Yeah, they're getting packed, and while they're packing, they're playing around, making a beat. He's rapping. It was real cute.
It was real cute. She had some nice little beat skills. See, in reverse, I don't know. She'd have been rapping. I might have hit a couple beats. Yeah, she can rap, y'all.
No.
She can freestyle.
I don't know why
You can flow.
Look, we just had this whole conversation with our kids the other night. It's not true. It's not true. I'm just more creative. It's not that. I'm just a more creative person when it comes to words and music and stuff. He's not a music person. No, I am.
You are. You do a good job.
But anyway. So they're riding in a car going to Gatlinburg, joking about her snoring. They were the third couple to arrive. That's it right now. I think it was the third.
Yeah, because Chris and Nicole's last.
Okay, yeah. So I said it wrong for Gina and Clint. They were the second couple to arrive. Yeah. Shaquille and Kirsten were the third couple to arrive. Jasmine asked them about signing a guest book. I didn't really understand what a guest book for, just the cabin. Like the cabin had a guest book.
I had a cabin.
That everybody comes in and has to sign. Anyway.
Nice cabin though. Oh,
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But he said he's excited about the weekend. He realized he has to prioritize her marriage. How she helps him with his walk for the men's pageant. She's like, you got to walk like this. And the way Kirsten be talking sometimes, I'm like, so is Jasmine a pageant queen or are you? Where you get these skills from? Did you used to model?
Like YouTube videos. YouTube. No, I'm kidding. She probably used to model when she was younger.
That's what I'm like, because this is the second time we've seen her giving somebody advice on you got to do your walk like this and you got to do. And
she might have been in pageants. Jasmine just won. They might not have been the same pageants, but Kirsten probably been in pageants. Kirsten just never won any. Not. Or
she might have been a college pageant queen.
Yeah, college pageant queen. Not knocking the fact that she didn't win because that it's hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard.
Absolutely. But the funniest thing with them is she was talking about, and I can't remember where she was saying this, but like she's talking to Shaquille and she was like, yeah, like when we sat down, when they had the little after the men's pageant or whatever, and everybody was talking about this, that, and the other, and sharing what I learned and what I got from it when they were answering the questions. And he was like, to help the divorce rate, one thing I would suggest is that every couple go through marriage counseling. So later she comes to say, you know what I really liked when we was doing the pageant? Somebody said that they would recommend marriage counseling. And Shaquille was like, I said that.
I said that.
What you mean somebody? She was like, oh my God, you did say that.
It's how much she was paying attention. She be zoning out sometimes.
She don't pay big much.
Like even in the last episode when they was talking about the whole sadness of Shaquille, talking about, you know why she said sure? Because she had zoned out. She be at the table just go back and watch some episodes. She just be in La La Land. She don't even be paying attention.
And it's no jab at all. Sometimes we all do it. After a while, for some of us, and I'm saying not us, I'm just saying for some people, your attention span after a while just be like, just
make sure your attention span don't do that on the video. Just make sure don't do that on the video.
Do it.
Don't do it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Let's keep it moving.
But anyway, so then there was a whole little thing with them about how she couldn't sleep that night. He videotaped her snoring to prove that she's snoring. I don't snore. That's a funny thing too. Couples do this.
We do this. There's some videos somewhere of somebody snoring. I don't know where they at, and I'm not gonna post them, but
we have videos of each other snoring.
I know. Okay. Oh, I know I snore. I've been snoring since I was like 3. So
I'm sorry, we got these tangents. But anyway, today is tangents. But for Shaquille and Kirsten, they go, I'm thinking they're going snowboarding, but it was really just like a amusement thing. They're sliding down, turning all to the side. But they had a really good time. It was good for them to enjoy each other's company.
I like when they enjoy their company. I mean, I think when you see these couples having fun with each other, it breaks down a lot of the walls. Mm-hmm. It broke down a lot of walls for Jasmine and Eris when I said the rage room and all the different things they've done. Mm-hmm. It breaks down the wall with Kirsten and Shaq because again, there's no competition. You're just having legitimate fun, and you're enjoying the person that you're with. So I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm. The one thing he said was he was surprised because Kirsten's the type to just go and do stuff in this space. He was like, she was actually nervous, but it worked out because, like I said, they had a good time. They went down several times. She said it was fun. It was the most challenging thing that, she's done, but it was a whole conversation later when it comes to Shaquille and Kirsten. I think this when they were talking individually. She said she was unsure about decision day since she and Shaquille have so many communication issues, and she's been taking the tools that were given to her, and but she's still kind of uneasy. Shaquille shared that their relationship has grown, communication. He's working on his communication and being optimistic, and so he's confused why she doesn't know where they stand.
Because she don't want to be with him. I just don't think at this point. But you want a man about your $2 million house, right? She's talking all the right things, but again, goes back to what Shaq says: when the camera's on, she's one way, and the camera's off, she's another. How can you, in one breath, say, "I want you to let's build a house, $2 million home, give me this home," and then the next breath you saying, "I don't know if I want to be with him or not." Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's like, "How much more do I have to do? What do I need to do to prove and to be in this thing?" And
which shows that they have a conversation. At least they're having that conversation about what we're doing after decision day.
Yeah. Basically they said they're just learning and enjoying their union and getting to know each other.
By the time I go to the retreat, I think if I was on the show, by the time we get to the retreat, I would know my answer.
You should. You ain't got much time left.
Nah.
Okay.
Let's go, Chris and Nicole.
All right. So the thing with Chris and Nicole, we do see them in the start talk a little bit about their residence situation.
Yeah.
And the fact that they'll have to figure out Nicole's thing is, I like to plan in advance, and she was trying to get a direct answer from Chris, but he was like, basically, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll have to figure it out then. And that thing irked her, but she didn't say it in the moment to him.
Oh, it irked her. This is the guy who don't wash his clothes for 7 weeks. He likes 7 weeks. He don't wash his clothes but once a month. He procrastinates. He slows down. I mean, think about it. Has Chris made any rash decision or quick decision on the show? Think about it. Even with the dogs, he couldn't really think or get things together. He's not one of those people that can go real quick and think on the fly. Nicole, as she mentioned, she likes to prepare things or have it planned. I want to know a plan. Mm-hmm. Okay, we decided to stay together. Who apartment we're going to stay in? We already signed these 9 months lease.
Because she finally speaks up and says, I don't think it would be beneficial for us to live separately. So we need to decide where we're going to go and where we're going to put these 3 dogs. And she said, I wanted him to have a little more pep.
But I understand Chris from this point. We're driving on a weekend. Let's not have anything that may cause an argument.
Right.
That's what I felt in my spirit.
And that's what he basically said. He said, I just want to enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that Monday. Let's just enjoy this time away, and we'll get to more serious matters when Monday
I felt that in my spirit. He's sitting there. You know how you guys do. The guys who watch this video. Yeah, we sat there, and you like, I am not going to say a word, because if I say something that is not right, it's going to ruin the whole weekend. And he was sitting there like, I'm not saying a word. Let's wait till Monday. I just felt that.
Yeah. Nicole's concern was they were the last ones to get there. Her concern was we're going to get the worst room if we're last. And we got to see a little bit of that. Nicole, my God, you don't want to have that room. I'm getting the last room. I want to have a temper tantrum. I just want to enjoy the night. And we got I mean, and she was walking into the house, looking around. Oh, we got the. She showed that.
I would think every room in that house would be pretty decent. I would think if they set you up, they know somebody's gonna be last. Unless they try to create the drama, you would think every room in the house would be pretty okay. Now it may not be on. There was in a basement, so there was I ain't say basement. There was on the lower level downstairs.
She's like, I'm gonna be a Sour Patch Kid. I was like, check.
I got a place to sleep, dog. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Some quietness.
And she was in such a space that she was like, I just want to be alone, but I know we have to go down there and mingle with the others. Like she had worked herself up to the point where like she did not even want to sit and talk to nobody about the room.
I blame Chris. He didn't tell her to calm down. Husbands, it's okay to tell your wife, hey, take a minute, calm down, take a pill, chill, relax.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But that's when you grow in marriage. He should be like, yo, Nicole was good. I didn't see him. Otherwise, I didn't see him try to comfort her and be like,
or talk her down,
and be like, hey, let's go enjoy the moment. So, I mean, each his own. Maybe in their relationship, he has to let her talk through it. He can at least say pineapple, right?
I feel like she has not
used pineapple. One episode is.
I don't feel like that's something that they actually actively talked about.
I thought she actually used it. Like, I need you to say pineapple.
But I'm saying they're not actively using.
Oh, no.
And it's just, anyway.
He's never saying pineapple.
We see him going outside, writing a little notes for her, send her on the scavenger hunt. And, she's finding them and reading them. And it came from his heart. Little cutesy stuff. I like Nicole and Chris. They do have some issues, but overall I like Nicole and Chris.
I like them too, but the living situation is gonna be a big issue.
But she likes the fact that he was giving her the notes. It's validation. Again, she needs reassurance because she's been in such piss poor relationships. That this is so different from her, and that's why I like them, because this is, if any couple really needed each other and was matched for what they need, they really did match them for that.
They did well. Yeah. There's always one, but let's see if they stay married. Hopefully they stay married. And the dog, I can't foresee anything breaking them up unless it's a dog situation. Mm-hmm. She actually didn't kill one of the dogs or something like that. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm saying I don't see him leaving unless it's something major. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, overall, like I said, it wasn't at the opposite of Gina and Clint. It's not much going on with them because they're going through the process as you would expect to happen. Yeah. This is like a perfect. I don't want to see perfect, but this is, the experts will look when decision day comes. The experts will be like,
This one
we
works.
expected it to go the way it went.
This one is you can use as a model for the rest of the couple.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it wasn't much with them. They got ready for the 80s party. He had that crazy wig on that he also had on at the men's pageant. She had a little fanny pack, her hot neon colors, real 80s like. They was real 80s like.
What was that joke he made about putting something in her pouch or?
I don't know.
And she was like, "Yo, you can put something in my pouch later," or something like that. It was something weird. I was like, "Okay, easy zone."
I was gagging. That's why I didn't even write it down. The last thing, and we can touch this separate.
Yeah, we touch it. Let's get.
But Jasmine and Eris, we see them again preparing to go to the retreat. They had this whole conversation about what you do the first 30 minutes of your day. You know, I get up and read and I poop and I do my meditation.
And I thought about my son. His first 30 minutes, he going to the bathroom, it just, yeah.
I gotta go poop.
Yeah, every day, I gotta go poop. Dog, you about to miss school, I gotta go poop. The car, anyway.
They talk about what's the wisest thing that I've taught you. And she was like, you taught me to read more and to meditate more. Yeah. That's a whole conversation they had later too about the meditation. He said for him, the thing that he's learned is he's giving himself more grace.
More grace.
Giving, he said himself. I'm not even gonna.
He should be giving her.
I know he stopped giving myself more grace.
Basically, you teaching me how to forgive myself and how to understand who I am as a person and willing to make sure my needs are met. Because I wasn't doing that before. I was hard on myself. That's what he's saying. Okay.
We see him getting ready for the men's little pageant, and you know while he was this thing I thought was funny. I had to make note of this. While he's getting ready, we saw a glimmer of what we saw in Jamaica on some of that treat me like a king type thing. He's like, he's getting dressed. He's like, oh man, I need some lotion. And she's like, I got some. And he sticks his leg out for her to put some lotion on his leg. And she kindly puts the lotion on his leg. Like
I'm not mad at. Look, you're supposed to be working on this intimacy thing, or you're supposed to be working on the relaxation thing. You're working on all this stuff. It is cool for her to put lotion on his legs. I'm just glad he took the white socks off.
It is cool, but it's cool, but it's also like, bro, the struggles and the issues y'all been having, she has been nothing but kind to him.
She has. She's been kind of respectful. They never had like any beef issues. It's just been, it wasn't no romantic involvement. They've always slept with each other. They always, again, I don't see how he ain't rolling over, but it's just a whole bunch of different things.
Because he ain't attracted.
He ain't attracted to
anyway, then, there was a point where he jokingly was like, hey, come here, come on, mama, put a chain on my neck. And she had a whole conversation with him about when you go do your pageant, confidence is key. And she's giving him little tips and stuff, but she wasn't even a judge. She was the doggone MC.
Oh, she couldn't be the judge. She was like, but she gave him enough confidence or enough key points where he went out there and won that thing because of his confidence, because he came out there extra confident.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, he's already a confident person anyway, because he's a 12, right? He's a 12. He came, but he came out there with confidence, and confidence, when you act like you belong, people like you. And you act like you belong. So King Eris. All hail King Eris.
They have a whole conversation, like I mentioned briefly, about how he got up and he meditated, and she was like, you did your meditation without me. And he was like, oh man, like I'm sorry. She was like, it's funny because the night before I just said to you that I want to get into meditating more. Can you include me? And you got right up and did it and didn't even think about the conversation we had just had the night before.
Look, it is, sometimes you forget. Sometimes you're used to doing certain things by yourself, and you just go ahead.
You gotta make an effort to do it different.
You gotta make an effort to do it different.
If you see the value in putting forth the effort, the same thing that Devon Franklin told him.
Yeah.
Are you putting forth the same effort in your marriage?
And he had to learn how to put forth the effort. And again, what I like about it was that she was able to speak up
And that's what he liked too.
And he liked that she was able to speak up and she didn't let it linger on and she wasn't mad at him all day and they was able to go meditate together and get it taken care of.
Yeah, because he said she did sit in it for a minute, but then she didn't again linger and let it go on. She addressed it in that moment.
So that's
she
sexy to him. He wants a woman who got a voice.
He appreciated her taking it head on.
I thought about this. Just indulge me for like a short time. Eris likes a woman who takes charge. Is that kind of like a mommy syndrome type thing? Where he wants a woman just because he grew up with his mom. He grew up with the women. And he wants the woman to be dominant or to take charge of him or be controlling. That could be a mom. I don't want to call it Oedipus complex. That is not what it is. But that's something that he may like, women who kind of check him a little bit and take charge. I don't know what it's called. So you guys know that syndrome or whatever it is called. Let me know. But I thought about that in this episode. I thought about when you said it. He likes the women who challenge him or kind of correct him. That's what moms do. That's what people do. So it's sexy to him.
Apparently. For them, their little excursion, we see them go to this place called Top Jump and they doing the rock wall climbing and she beats him to the top and they do trampolines, play a little dodgeball, a little fun thing for them, and they really enjoyed themselves.
You know, when they showed the clips of that, it looked like the place that we went to where we had to climb the wall. We had to walk. I do the obstacle course. I couldn't remember the name of the place, but it looked it looked like the one that we went to when we was down
a little bit. They have a conversation about whether she could tell that he's trying. She says, "Yes, I see you putting in a little bit more effort. It's getting better." They're trying to talk more and be present. And she talked to him about getting off his phone when we're having conversations. Stay off your phone more when we're conversing. And he was like, I want you to speak up more, which she did do with the one thing. She said she didn't realize her energy was shifting and how she could simmer and sit on stuff. But she's trying to be more upfront and deal with issues in the moment.
She couldn't see that her energy shift because everybody. I guess some people can't tell when their energy shifts. You know when you're mad though. You know when you're upset, and so again,
you gotta be more self-aware.
And Eris got to be more present. You can't be on your phone. We're having conversations and scrolling through Instagram and Twitter and all this other stuff. That's the problem before because you're looking at the chick in Instagram and she realized that. That's the one that you was knocking down and y'all was friends. But
the only other thing with them is we see that Eris had to leave early the next day because he had a work event to take care of. And so Jasmine ended up being there by herself and
for a day.
But her thing was, I'm gonna miss my husband, that I don't know. To me, that whole thing was kind of weird because I was like, how did we get to this phase? What happened in between? I think it was just a change of scenery.
That's
got them feeling different.
But change of scenery plus everybody else got their spouse there and yours is leaving, and then Eris may be growing on it. He may be, but he was when I saw him come back though, or he was back, or when you see the next episode that he's back and they still at the resort, like Eris came back. It's like, where did he? You only missed her for a day or two. He went to a conference and came back. It's like it wasn't gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but she missed him. So
she talked about when they all were sitting, all the couples sitting, chatting or whatever. She was like, she was sad he was leaving. They're progressing. When they had the conversation with all the couples at the dinner table, because what Eris said was, I commend Jasmine for taking it in stride. What I've been dishing out. She's been so graceful, and I don't know if I would have did it. I don't know if anybody else would have did it. And she got tearful because that's the first time he actually said to her, like,
I put you through a lot. and most people would have quit the process, would have left the process, but you stuck it out. You stayed in there for whatever it was for the marriage or for the paychecks, don't know. Whatever it was, she stuck it out, and she was grateful. She had a little, I don't know, this is the way to wipe tears now.
No, it's because she had her lashes on and her makeup. It's to try to keep everything from smearing and her lashes.
Okay, I'm not a woman, so I didn't know. I saw somebody else on another show do that. They hit the corner with the little.
They
fold the paper.
It's so you're not messing up your makeup and your eyelashes that you have applied.
So I watch a little bit of reality TV. I seen a lot of other women do that. I'm like, what in the world? Did we just wiping tears differently now?
No, that's what it is.
Okay, I got you. See, thanks for teaching me.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the only other thing I want to talk about with the episode is, again, when the guys are in the kitchen cooking, because that's Clint's thing. You know, he's the chef.
He's telling everybody what to do.
Yeah, he want to prepare a good meal for everybody to enjoy while they're at the retreat. And while they're cooking, that's when the ladies are outside talking. And you know, Clint jokingly is like, I want to hear about y'all sex lives. And Chris is like, you know, we may or may not have had sex last night, you know, because the only two people that can talk about having a sex life is Chris and Nicole and Shaquille and Kirsten.
And Shaquille ain't talking.
And Shaquille's like, look, we haven't really been all that open about our sex life. We kind of keeping that to ourselves. And he was like, I'm not getting ready to share it now.
I'm not talking. I'm not sharing. I can tell you what we did, how we did. If I got some, didn't get none. No.
Again, they talk about their decision days, you know, whatever. Clint tells the guys, you know, I don't have any preconceived outcome.
Right.
It's just been a daily process that we're going through. Eris is like, in the end, he doesn't want to have any regrets. So I'm trying to put in the work that I got from the tools from the experts. Eris talks about how, you know, they had a spark. There was an aha moment. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but will it change anything towards them saying yes on decision day? Right. That's what they're trying to figure out. Shaquille says the thing that he got is that, you know, he wanted but was taking time for her to let her guard down. And he feels like they've gotten to the point where she's let that guard down and maybe they can make some progress is the thing with him. You know, his only other issue that he talked about with the guys is I still want to meet her family. I'm a real family person. I haven't met her family since seeing them at the wedding, trying to meet her daddy, haven't met her daddy. And that's something that's irking him. It's like, why is it that you don't want me to meet or talk to your family?
Y'all know from in a real relationship, if a guy don't take you around his family, you think he got another family that he's cheating. Or he got somebody else.
He got another girlfriend. You are the second one.
Ain't nobody bring that up. Maybe Kirsten. I don't think she has anybody else. I think she might be ashamed of her family. I think it might be ashamed. Mm-hmm. But she says it's because she don't know if Shaquille gonna be around or not, and so she don't want to take him around, and then they not get used to him. But they get used to him, and he got to go. He got to leave. Which translation? I don't know if I want to stay with him.
That's what it sounds like.
Sound like to me.
So, because when we hear the girls talking and everything, Gina talks about how, you know, they had a good day, that she really enjoyed him. They're consistently giving their all, focusing. Their task from Dr. Pepper was focused on building a deep relationship, a deep friendship that can maybe progress to something more. Jasmine says, you know, when I talked to y'all before, I was at my breaking point, but that day, they talked and they had some better communication and they're getting past that. They're in a better space is what Jasmine shared with the girls, and Kirsten shared that. I think I said this before. She shared with the ladies, I'm kind of middle of the road regarding whether it's going to be a yes on decision day, because we're still having some communication issues. And this is stuff she's sharing with the girls. And when she says it to Shaquille, he's like, I don't understand. We're doing so much better. How can you still be on the middle of the road? Help me understand.
I'm in the middle of the road because you ain't bought me this house yet. I'm in the middle of the road because you keep talking about how I'm not supporting you.
No, I'm in the middle of the road because of some of what you just said. I don't know if you're going to be around. So I'm not trying to introduce you to my family. She's kind of acting in the way that Eris expressed to Devon Franklin, because his thing was, why am I not putting forth as much effort in this marriage as I am on my job? And he said, because my job, my livelihood depends on my job. My livelihood don't depend on this marriage. Mm-hmm. If it ends today or tomorrow, I'm going back to what my life was before. Mm-hmm. And I think in a way, that's kind of what Kirsten said.
Yeah. She can't think like that. If she want to just do, I just don't think they're gonna be together because somebody gonna say no. Either Shaq gonna say no because he's frustrated with her. Either she gonna say no because she ain't used to him the way that he runs things.
Mm-hmm. The only other thing that I would talk
I
about.
hope they say yes, but
I hope so too. The only other thing I'll talk about is how when all the couples talked together, they had a whole conversation that Chris and Nicole shared, that they told each other they loved each other. They told each other they loved each other in that space. And, you know, everybody's kind of like, oh, wow. They all just talked about how they've been trying to put into practice the tools they got from Dr. Pepper, Devon Franklin, and really trying to work on their marriage. And so basically we'll see what happens once we get to decision day.
I like the fact that in this episode of this season that the couples are actually trying to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
You can see some of them try to put in the work, whether you like Eris or not. Ride or die for my boy. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking with y'all. But he at least trying. I mean, he's saying the right things. Whether he mean it or not, I can't tell if he means it or not. That's not my job. Mm-hmm. But he's saying the right things, and it helped Jasmine out in this episode. So we'll see how it goes and see how everything pans out here in the next couple of weeks with these couples and see where they go from here.
Yep.
That is it. Hey, make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below.
And we left it short enough so your attention span.
Yeah, we left it short enough. So if you made it through this 30 minutes, 36 minutes, 37 minutes of this video, and you're not subscribed to this channel, just subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Subscribe. You like us. We was funny. Talk to you later.
What?
We was funny. It was funny. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Out of control today.